no, you clicked the wrong button, so we can't give you the deposit back. Sounds like scam, right, guys? So if I click the wrong button, could you please help me to reverse it? Can I contact the customer service or your manager? Basically, they said, no, we can't help you. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're looking for accommodation in China, in this video I'm going to share with you why you should never ever rent through Ziroom. In my previous video, I already shared that one day I came home and the door was locked over unpaid bill, so we had to move out. But that was not all. The worst thing happened after. And apparently we were not the only foreigners who fell for this scam. There were multiple people sharing their stories about their horrible experience, losing deposit, being kicked out of the apartment, and facing this locked door situation. So if you want to read all these horror stories from real people, I'm gonna leave the link in the description to this video. Basically, you remember that as soon as we learned that it's really dangerous to stay in this apartment, that it can be easily locked anytime over an unpaid bill, we decided to move out. And when we moved out, we gave them 2-week notice. At that very point, we were already ready to lose our deposit. We were like, fine, that's not our fault, but since we're moving early, we're ready to lose our deposit. So basically, we asked agents on WeChat group to help us terminate the contract, and they said that they cannot help us and the only way is to do it through the app. So they asked us to open the app. The app is completely in Chinese. There is no English version, like particularly for that thing. Like they have English version, but English version doesn't have all features available, so you have to use Chinese version. So when we opened it, we tried to get through to a person, but there was obviously AI, and we kept messaging them for 3 days to let them know, to give them 2-week notice, and we couldn't. So after 3 days of negotiating, we said, okay, can someone please come over to our apartment and help us to do it? So the agent came over and he said we have only one option. We are going to sublet our apartment. In this case, we will not lose our deposit, or we will like lose 20% of the deposit. And if in 2 weeks nobody's gonna move in there, then in this case they'll help us to terminate and we'll get 30% of the deposit. We're like, wow, that's even better than what we expected, because we were ready to lose the whole deposit. So basically 2 weeks later, we move out, we send them a message, all right guys, we ordered a cleaning service, someone came, would you like to come over and take a look at the apartment, make sure nothing's damaged, you know, the process. They said, no, we'll do it later. It was already 1 month since we moved to the new apartment. And we received a message from the agent and he says, hey guys, when are you going to terminate the contract? We're like, but you came over to our apartment and you helped us to do it. You said first we sublet it, and then if it doesn't go well, we will terminate it. They said, yeah, but you had to terminate it in the app. And we were like, what? You never told us about this. So we've been living in the new apartment for like a month already, and our contract hasn't been terminated in the old apartment and nobody helped us. So we're like, how can we do it? So they sent us a lot of screenshots and walked us through the process on what buttons to click and how to get our 30% of the deposit back, because that was, as you remember, that was the deal. I knew that I'll mess something up, so I asked my Chinese friend to be with me and, you know, oversee the whole process of clicking buttons and going through the process. So after I finished everything, they said, all right, you don't get the deposit back. When I asked them why, they said, because I clicked the wrong button. And I was like, that's impossible, because I wasn't doing it alone and I was doing it with my friend and she helped me. And they said, no, you clicked the wrong button, so we can't give you the deposit back. Sounds like scam, right guys? So because it sounded like a scam, I said, all right, so if I click the wrong button, could you please help me to reverse it? Can I contact the customer service or your manager and try to solve the situation? Because obviously, even if I did click the wrong button, I'm entitled to a 30% deposit, right? And we did everything right. So basically they said, no, we can't help you.
Go yourself. Is that clear?
And in situation like this, you have 2 options. You have option 1, go to the police, and you have option 2, accept it as it is. And because I've been in China for a long time, I know that these low-level employees, they're really scared of their managers. And if you go there and you cause drama, it will not give you anything, because all these big companies, they're backed up by some rich people from the government. And if they are allowed to do all these illegal things like locking doors in your apartment again and again and again, it means that somebody is covering up for them. So if you go to the police, you will look just like a foreigner who's trying to cause mess. And in China, they don't allow anyone to cause mess, because if you're creating a lot of drama, it will make people in the government lose their face, and they don't want to lose their face. So any foreigner causing drama is in the wrong. You'll never be in the right. So yeah, guys, you have two options here. You can try to fight for it, which I think it's not worth it, or you can just accept as it is. We accepted that we'll lose our full deposit, and yeah, this is how it went. I know that some people in the comments, they said you can hire a lawyer, you can do this, you can do that, but honestly, I don't think that my time is worth that. And I would lose my sanity fighting for this, 5 or 6,000 yuan. I honestly don't think it's worth it. So you guys, if you want to avoid situation like this, go through the agent. If you go through the agent, you can get a good agent or a bad agent. And if you get a good agent, you can negotiate the day you move in, you move out. Your deposit is also negotiable. Can the agent actually not return your deposit? Yes. It is also possible, but it's more unlikely, because agents do care about their reputation more than these big companies where everything is happening through the app and you can't trace where it all leads, and nobody's in charge. You kind of have the agent in the app, but on the other hand, you're all alone just with some people from customer service. So if you guys are choosing whether to go through the agent or to rent the apartment through the app, I would definitely recommend you going through the agent, because nothing is better than person-to-person communication, and this will make your life a lot easier. Please let me know what you think about this and whether you agree or disagree with me, but this is what I think about this. And yeah, if you know some reliable agents in Shanghai or in China, feel free to share the contacts. I think it's very useful. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and see you later. Bye!